Good morning, everybody. It's me, Mambo Dad. So let me start here. Coming through the Miami airport internationally, they got something new going on. They don't even stamp your passport. You ain't even got to take your passport out. Now I am so old. I remember the day when you had to fill out a form, a customs form, or some type of immigration form, and you had to present your passport, and then they stopped the form. They just went to where they would stamp your passport when you re-enter the country, and they would ask you questions. They'd be like, where did you come from? How long were you there? What was your purpose for going there? And you know, um, did you bring back any liquor? And you're allowed to bring back liquor. I think you just have to declare it over, even if it's under 1 liter, but you're allowed to bring back like 1 liter with no customs or whatever, unless you buy it from duty free. And then they just pose all these sort of questions to just kind of unease you. That's the job. We're going to unease this joker. Then they stamp your passport, or sometimes, usually me, they send you to the secondary checking, secondary, whatever. Um, when you come through now, they just take your picture, and that's it. And I was like, okay, they took my picture. It said that the picture verification had failed. And I was like, oh, sir, it says the picture verification failed. He said, no, it didn't. Go on through. So I went and stood at the next little desk. He was like, go on through. And I was like, go on through? Don't you got to stamp honey, I had my passport in my hand, everything, right? None of that. There wasn't even a line, because unless they know who they're looking for. Believe me, they already send the manifesto to before you even get on the plane. They know who's on there, they know who's reaching, they know everything. There's communication, okay? 2026 or 7 or whatever we're going into. We're going into a new year. So I'm just like, they ain't got to stamp my passport. They ain't asked me no questions. They just took my picture. And now Facebook started all this with that Facebook photo recognition shit, when they be tagging you in people's pictures, and you'd be like, yeah, they started that a few years back. Facebook started that mess. And now it was just an experiment for something bigger. That's why I'm real cautious about new stuff on social media. Because now when you come into the country, it just take your picture. They don't need your passport. They don't pose no questions. They know if you check luggage. They know if you didn't check luggage. He looked down and saw my little bag in my hand and said, what did you bring back with you? I think that's what he said. And I said, my battery backup, for my phone chargers, and some clothes. So if they open it, they would have just seen some dirty underwear. Good for him. But he said, okay. And I was like, wow. Yeah, so if you're coming back from an international trip, which leads me into the next day, it's going to be smoother. It's going to be a shorter re-entry into the country. I felt like I had global re-entry, like I was one of them, global priority people. No, they just got something new going on. In Miami. Okay, I don't know if they got it at Fort Lauderdale, because ever since Spirit stopped going to OCAP, I haven't passed through Fort Lauderdale airport. I always pass through Miami now because of Sunrise, right? So I don't know what they got going on in Fort Lauderdale, but Miami has stepped into the future. Okay, they can just look at you walking through the airport and know everything about you from a picture. It's scary. It's so scary. Honey, and I'm telling you, when I come back in the country, they see me at my worst. Honey, they see me at my no makeup, hair be wrapped up, or I got my head covered some kind of way. Just wearing some comfortable clothes, honey. Yeah, they're gonna see me. They're gonna see the real deal when I'm. When I reach, I might spruce up a little bit, but when I'm traveling, I'm all about the comfort, okay? So they see me in the realest real, okay? Oh gosh, the pictures. What? And then they get you off guard. You be like, yeah, you be looking rough. So let me tell you this. It is like I'm gonna make a new video for this second part. Okay, let me make another video for this. But that's what I want to tell you. They got something new going on in Miami Airport when y'all come back internationally. I'm Mamba Odette.